2016, the year where the death of a primate would shape the culture of memes for the next couple of years and make millennials and Gen Z blame everything that goes wrong around the death of this primate. And I think there was an election happened, I'm not completely sure, but anyways, to football, the Clemson Tigers behind Deshaun Watson, perennial massage enjoyer, beat the Crimson Tide in an upset to win their first national title since 1981, I think. And we'll see if the same happens here. So, let's get into it. The SEC tournament for 2016 will start with a rematch from 2014-2015 of Alabama versus the actual matchup that took place between Alabama and Ole Miss. Ole Miss actually led late into the fourth quarter until Alabama made a big comeback to win, and it was a very high-scoring affair. We'll see if it is with this one. No, not in the slightest. Alabama in 333 simulations beats Ole Miss 48-6. They beat them 289 times. Ole Miss only won 44. Good Lord. Chad Kelly had 134 passing yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. The running game, their backup quarterback led their team in rushing. Receiving, their running back led them in receiving, about right. In Alabama, Jalen Hurts, over 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Damian Harris, Bo Scarborough, Josh Jacobs, and B.J. Emmons, I have no idea who that is, all had a touchdown. And dadgum, dude. Receiving, Calvin Ridley got a touchdown, and so did Derek Keefe. So Alabama, once again, for the third year in a row, will have the second round bye. So next we got Florida taking on Missouri. This was the year Florida started to go a little bit downhill under Jim McElwain after some of Will Muschamp's better recruits left for the NFL. We saw that in the games against Tennessee, even against Georgia to an extent, which they still beat Georgia. In Missouri, they had now Tennessee head coach Josh Heupel as their offensive coordinator. So anything can happen. I think Florida won the game in real life, but let's see. Florida did win in 167 simulations, but it's pretty close. Florida only won 96 times, while Missouri won 71 times. So let's look what happened. Drew Lock, pedestrian day, 148 yards, passing, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Demarie Crockett led the team in rushing with 2 touchdowns, which was the only 2 that they had. Ish Witter did not have a good day. Well, it looks like he kind of did, because for some reason he's there 2 times. Anyways, let's see. Florida, Luke Del Rio, 3 touchdowns and interception, about 300 yards. Jordan Scarlett, 72 yards rushing. Jordan Cronkrite had the touchdown. And yeah, there you go, Florida going to the next round. Next up, we got LSU taking on Vanderbilt. I fully expect LSU to win this game. They had players like Tre'Davious White on this team, Jamal Adams, Arden Key, even Leonard Fournette still. Now, the one place where they're going to be lacking is quarterback, but we'll just have to see. In Vanderbilt, they did have like Zach Cunningham, Kyle Shermer, and Ralph Webb, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. LSU won 30-6, 30 simulations. Vanderbilt only won 1 time. LSU won every other time and beat them by 20 or more points 22 times. So Kyle Shermer, not good day. 2 interceptions, 181 yards. Ralph Webb did not do good on the ground. LSU, Danny Etling did very well. 230 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Darius Geis led the team in rushing, but Leonard Fournette got the touchdown. So yeah, no upsets here. So far, Alabama, LSU, and Florida have made it to the next round. Next up, we got Auburn taking on South Carolina. The SEC East this year was terrible. At one point, Vanderbilt and Kentucky had a chance to win the East, so I fully expect Auburn to win this game. So, we'll just have to see. And they do. 2 simulations, Auburn wins both of them, and by 20 or more points. So yeah, Auburn wins 24-3, and Jake Bentley did not have a good day. Threw for 121 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. Rico Dowdle led the team in rushing, but that was it. Sean White had a not that good of a day. He threw for 135 yards, passing and a touchdown. Cameron Petway got a rushing touchdown, and so did Sean White. Kerryon Johnson did not do well at all. So yeah, I guess those 3 touchdowns were all they needed. Defense came in clutch. Next up, we got Texas A&M taking on Mississippi State. Sooners transfer quarterback Trevor Knight as their starter, and Mississippi State had Nick Fitzgerald. Texas A&M does have Myles Garrett, so maybe that'll give them the edge. We'll see. And in 2 simulations, Texas A&M won both and won one by more than 20 points. They won 38-27. Nick Fitzgerald, dang, over about close to 400 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Those 2 picks really hurt him, though. He led the team in rushing on the ground with 70 yards. And then Fred Ross, Farrod Green, and Jamal Couch got a touchdown. Trevor Knight, 229 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Keith Ford had 75 rushing yards. And Josh Reynolds got every one of the touchdown passes. So, Texas A&M to the next round. Next up, we got Tennessee hosting Arkansas. If I had to pick my matchup that I think is going to happen for the SEC championship for this simulation, I would say Alabama versus Tennessee. So let's see if that happens. Tennessee did win against Arkansas, 38-17. I forget if it was 2016 or 2015 that they played in real life, but I know that one of those years Tennessee lost badly to Arkansas. I think it was 2015. Either way, they got their revenge here, winning both times. Austin Allen threw 150 yards and a touchdown. Rowley Williams had 66 rushing yards and a touchdown. Jared Cornelius got the receiving touchdowns. Joshua Dobbs had just over 200 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Jalen Hurd led the team in rushing, and Josh Dobbs and Alvin Kamara got the rushing touchdowns. So there you go, going to the next round. My favorites out of the East. There's no guarantee that they'll play, but we'll see. Our final matchup of the first round, we got Georgia hosting Kentucky. This was Kirby Smart's first year as Georgia's head coach, and we had a 5-star quarterback in Jacob Eason. Now, that didn't matter, apparently, because we ended up having our worst record since 2013, maybe, or 2010, and our offense was anemic. Whether if it was Jacob Eason not being ready, our offensive line not helping him at all, or our run game not working because of Nick Chubb not being completely healthy, I don't know. But this matchup between Georgia and Kentucky in real life was very close until the end where Rodrigo Blankenship kicked in the game-winning field goal. So let's see if it's as close as it was in real life. Kentucky wins it 37-17, beating Georgia. They both won 2 times, but Kentucky beat Georgia by 20 or more points twice, so we'll give it to them. Steven Johnson, 260 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Benny Snell, 108 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Steven Johnson had a rushing touchdown as well. And what happened with Georgia? Jacob Eason didn't have a bad day. He threw for 206 yards, 2 touchdowns. It was our running game that struggled the most. Our leading rusher was Nick Chubb with 35 yards. And our leading receiver was Nick Chubb with 43 yards and a touchdown. Gosh, dude. Okay. Georgia's out in the first round. So that's the end of the first round. The second round will have these teams. Alabama will have a bye. You'll have Florida taking on Kentucky, LSU taking on Tennessee, and Auburn taking on Texas A&M. So I'll meet you back here with round 2. Of course, Georgia's the first team that gets outed out in the first round. That's a higher seed. Gosh. Anyways, this matchup in real life, I think Florida won convincingly, so we'll see if Kentucky can even keep up. And they did? What's going on? They beat Florida 28-10? Okay. Steven Johnson, 184 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Benny Snell had under 100 yards, but still had a touchdown as well. What happened to Florida? Luke Del Rio just didn't put anything on the board. He had 200 passing yards. Jordan Scarlett, LaMichael Pirine had the only pass or rushing touchdown. All right, then. Kentucky's going to the next round. Still can't believe that happened. Anyways, we have the next round. LSU taking on Tennessee. We'll see if Tennessee can keep my prediction strong here against LSU. LSU has a good defense. No, they can't. LSU beats Tennessee 24-7. Dadgummit, LSU. Josh Dobbs had a terrible day. Threw for just 168 yards and 2 interceptions. Jalen Hurd, the running game couldn't get going. Danny Etling had a great day, 189 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Leonard Fournette had a great day, 136 rushing yards. Gosh, dude. All right, LSU to the next round. Let's get back on target. Texas A&M, Trevor Knight, and Myles Garrett taking on Auburn and Kerryon Johnson and whoever else they got. Let's see. Auburn wins 21-10. Okay. I think this is the farthest they've made it in one of these things. Trevor Knight, 241 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Travion Williams led the team in rushing with 58 yards and a touchdown. Sean White had 209 passing yards and a touchdown. Cameron Petway had led the team in rushing. Kerryon Johnson had a touchdown. So did Joe Mixon. He wasn't on the team. Was he? Or was that a different Joe Mixon? Anyways. No, why is Samaje Perine on? Oh well. Boom Williams, he's on Kentucky. Oh well. Anyways. Yeah. Auburn to the semifinals. So, round 3 is going to consist of these 2 matchups. Alabama taking on Kentucky. LSU taking on Auburn. Alright, can Kentucky's Cinderella story continue against Alabama? In real life, Alabama absolutely blew them out. Can Kentucky get revenge on the road in Tuscaloosa? No. A resounding no. Of course not. Steven Johnson, 95 passing yards. Led the team in rushing. Benny Snell had the only touchdown. Jalen Hurts, 197 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Damian Harris had 84 yards rushing and a touchdown. Jalen Hurts, 60 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Yep, what I expected. I knew it was a long shot, but I just wanted something to knock down Alabama. Anyways, we have another matchup between 2 teams that had a very close game in the regular season, LSU and Auburn. This game had a very controversial call, but I guess I'll let you go watch it if you want to. Let's see. Auburn wins. Beats LSU in an upset, it looks like. Luck of the draw, I guess. Sean White, another 2-touchdown game. Cameron Petway, another rushing performance. Danny Etling, a touchdown, 2 picks. Darius Geis had over 100 yards and a touchdown, but didn't matter. So, in the SEC Championship, we're having a rematch of the Iron Bowl. Are you kidding me? Auburn beats Alabama in an upset to win the SEC, kicking Alabama no, that would be their only loss, so they'd probably still get in, but my gosh, dude. What's going on here? So Alabama goes into, I guess, the playoffs because they'll probably make it with a loss at 12-1. So that would shake up the playoff matchups a little bit. So let me do a little research and I'll be back with some matchups. Alright, so the 2 playoff matchups I have are Clemson taking on Washington in Atlanta in the Peach Bowl, where Alabama originally played them, and Alabama playing Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl. So let's see what happens with both these teams. I still can't believe Auburn pulled it off, dude. I get that this is random, but gosh, I guess anything can happen any given Saturday and all. So let's see. What's going on, dude? Bro. And they even were favored? Jake Browning. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 241 yards. The rushing game, I guess. John Ross. Deshaun Watson did not have a good day. What? So, you're telling me that either Alabama or Ohio State gets to play Washington in the national championship? Okay. I wanted chaos. I'm getting chaos. 2016 has been the craziest one. No, but Alabama wins in a close one, 19-10. J.T. Barrett, 146 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. J.T. Barrett leads the team in rushing with 78 yards. Jalen Hurts, 245 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Bo Scarborough got the only touchdown. B.J. Emmons leads the team in receiving. So you're telling me it's an Alabama-Washington national championship. I would not be surprised if Washington beat Alabama 40-0. Or other way around. No, Alabama wins in a close one. 17-8. Beats Washington. Jake Browning, 110 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Myles Gaskin, over 100 rushing yards. Jalen Hurts, 168 yards, a touchdown, no picks. Josh Jacobs led the team in rushing. So, Deshaun Watson does not get his national title, goes to the NFL, and you know what happens after that. Instead, Alabama gets their national title. Huh. And everything is okay. JT out.